Long time no practice test. Let's go. Somebody said I usually speak zum 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 zum. Let's try not to speak that way today. Yes. Detached. Yes. Anticipate. Yes. Affectionate. Yes. Losing. Not sure. Undeveloped. Yes. Humanitarian. Yes. I don't know. Not sure. Enforce. Yes. Filthy. I don't know. Spotlight. Yes. Convict. Yes. Or convict. Devil. Well, not sure. I don't know. Never heard the word. Nova wedding. Let's just because. Constantly. No. Doesn't look real. Ah, that means I was wrong. Just supervision. Yes. And make sure you downloaded the updated version of the app. During past economic recessions, monetary institutions were reluctant to release lend. The university organized an internal research, hoping that collective efforts will fast-track discoveries. The university organized an internal research. I don't know what this is. Constitution. In a philosophical argument, one must analyze the Z or S, the impact of wickedness. I've seen this question before. Endorse building infrastructure in mountain areas. For a cohesive aesthetic, consider buying. I doubt if this is correct, but an asteroid impact on a water body results in a tremendous splash. I didn't do that section well.
She stood still with her hair flying in the wind. She stood still with her hair flying in the wind. She stood still with her hair flying in the wind.
The petals of a flower are often brightly colored and scented to attract insects and other pollinators. The petals of a flower are often brightly colored and scented to attract insects and other pollinators.
They are more receptive to the effects of this medication than the last group. They are more receptive to the effects of this medication than the last group. They are more receptive to the effects of this medication than the last group.
The games added many new things such as breeding and a new bag system. The games added many new things such as breeding and a new bag system. Type the miscellaneous as complete the text below. In American legal cases, it's typical to have a decision made by a jury of ordinary citizens. The attorney representing the accused are the attorney. No, are attorneys. The attorney representing the accused are the attorneys for the state. The attorney representing the accused. Born. I don't know attorneys. These two words, I'm definitely going to get them wrong. Both. The attorney representing the accused are the attorneys for the state. Both get to interview potential jurors. It sounds wrong. The attorney representing the accused. This is wrong. This is wrong. I don't know what's happening.
They received praise for their good behavior. They received praise for their good behavior. They received praise for their good behavior.
Industrial engineering is a branch of engineering which deals with optimization of complex processes and systems. Industrial engineering is a branch of engineering which deals with optimization of complex processes or systems.
Contrary to our expectation, the teams were quite evenly matched. Contrary to our expectation, the teams were quite evenly matched. Contrary to our expectation, the teams were quite evenly matched.
A company was founded in the engineering town of Pittsburgh in 1850 as a maker of lathes. The machines used to turn a workpiece around a rotational axis and has been in business for over 115 years. Since then, we've become known as makers of precision machine tools and as pioneers in technology. While our focus is still on manufacturing machine tools, our product list has expanded to include a wider range high performance equipment and services for a variety of applications in recent years. We're proud to say that we have the experience and expertise to provide complete machine tools for high precision applications. Still on manufacturing machine tools, our product list has expanded to include a wider range of high performance equipment and services for a variety of applications in recent years. I think we're good to go. So waste unnecessary
You
time.
are a school teacher, aren't you? You are a school teacher, aren't you? You are a school teacher, aren't you?
When it moves all the way around the clock, the minute hand moves forward one space. When it moves all the way around the clock, the minute hand moves forward one space.
I felt very sorry that I had put them to so much trouble. I felt very sorry that I had put them to so much trouble. I felt very sorry that I had put them to so much trouble.
He claimed that his decision was because he was concerned for the orchestra's well-being. He claimed that his decision was because he was concerned for the orchestra's well-being.
All of these scenarios increase the demands for modern refrigeration and manufactured ice. All of these scenarios increase the demands for modern refrigeration and manufactured ice. All of these scenarios increase the demands for modern refrigeration and manufactured ice.
The cabinet of curiosities. The cabinet at the end of hallways always full of strange things. You can find old medicines, strange lotions, and old soaps and shampoo. I don't think anyone has cleaned it out in years. I think we're good to go. You can find old medicines, strange lotions, and old soaps and shampoos. I don't think anyone has cleaned it out in years.
These tea rooms often double as bakeries so that tea and pastries are enjoyed together. These tea rooms often double as bakeries so that tea and pastries are enjoyed together. These tea rooms often double as bakeries so that tea and pastries are enjoyed together.
They help students and researchers understand the order or chronology of historical events for a subject. They help students and researchers understand the order or chronology of historical events for a subject.
Now, the telephone and email are the most common means of distance communication. Now the telephone and email are the most common means of distance communication. Now the telephone and email are the most common means of distance communication.
Over the past 2 decades, technological development has given way to a number of broad changes in communications and information technology. These changes have fundamentally altered the way we connect with one another, with the natural resources and natural process. I'm not sure, with natural processes and the information. This is strange. 5 and 6, I'm not sure. We have to come back. One of the most profound changes has been the rise of mobile computing, which has transformed how we communicate, access information, and consume media. Social media has arguably been the single most significant factor in encouraging and enabling these changes. The change fundamentally altered. Oh, my battery is low. Change has fundamentally altered. My time is going. Jesus. Change has fundamentally altered the way we connect with one another with the natural processes, and including 5 and 6. There's something wrong with the natural world. Has altered the way we connect with one another with the natural world and with information. Well, let's see. Right. I was correct. Select the best sentence to fill in the blank. As we increasingly turn to mobile devices for information and communication, it becomes vital to understand how these technologies impact our relationship with the world. There's an array of wireless devices to connect to others. Okay, this is hard. I barely have how many minutes left. Yeah, I was correct. Thank you. What time period is the article focused on? Please tell me if I used my time wisely. What is the most important factor in encouraging and enabling changes in communication. Select the idea that is expressed in the passage. Nothing about printing press. The rise of mobile computing has fundamentally changed how we print. The study found that young people know. Select the best title. Growth of mobile computing. Several messages. I'm glad I was able to finish in time. Interactive listening. I think this is my least favorite part. You and your friend have recently gotten part-time jobs as lab assistants for a professor. A lab assistant for a professor, you're discussing how the job is going. Pick the best option to start the conversation. Hey, come on in, how can I help you? Hey, how's the job going?
It's going good. I'm really enjoying it.
Yes, it's going good. I'm really enjoying it. That's actually cool. I'm looking forward to working. No. Yeah, I'm telling you, look, we're starting a new experience today. I think so. I think I'm wrong. Oh, correct.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. But it's really interesting to see how everything works and to be a part of the process.
A lot of work. Really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just glad that we were able to get these positions.
Because there's
Absolutely. Everything is really organized and planned out ahead of time, which makes our jobs a lot easier.
how much time do I have left? 2 minutes. I'm really enjoying it. For so, that's yeah. Somewhere. That was supposed to be a full stop. I look a mess. I'm taking the rest. Films can tell us a lot about the country where they were made. What have you learned about another country from watching its movies? 5 minutes to write. We're going to try to use a lot of synonyms. It is accurate that movies tell a lot about the countries they were produced in. Usually, if the said country is the set being depicted, we get to see a lot of their culture infused in the movies. The movie ranging from their cuisine to cuisine attires, buildings, songs, and to their overall way of life. I have learned a lot about Koreans from their movies. The type of meals they eat, how they are made, the way they dress, their education system, and even some words in their local dialect. Their local dialects. The way they dress, the education system, and even some words in their local dialect. Koreans are generally interesting people, and from seeing their movies, I have developed the desire to someday visit and experience their culture firsthand. I didn't use a synonym for learn. Too late. Let's just go with this. Follow-up response. How have you understood social or political issues of a country by watching its films? Discuss any particular movie that have influenced your understanding. Social issues are easier to graphs than political issues. What did I just spell? In my opinion. I learned a little about the influence of people in governance on processes and procedures in a Korean drama seen on TV. People in high government positions are usually depicted to have endless connections in the society and a stronger strengthening these connections by marriages. And I said a lot of rubbish about We're going to have 3 speaking questions. That means you're going to have to see my face. 20 seconds to prepare and 9 seconds to respond.
What do you like to do on vacation and why?
What do I like to do on vacation? Well, I've not gone on any major vacation, but let's see. We're going to come up with a story. On vacations, I usually like to try out a lot of food. Traveling from my home country, Nigeria, to another country, or probably a holiday resort in another country or another continent, gives me the opportunity to explore a lot of things that I normally wouldn't have access to. So when I'm on vacations, I explore food, I explore restaurants. I go to both local and fancy restaurants because, if we're being honest, local restaurants are where you get to experience cultures the most. Majorly, I fancy foods a lot, and they're the way to my heart. So I majorly eat. Then I can go to relaxation centers, go to the beach, go sightseeing, go see movies, or generally just visit historical sites to experience things I have seen online firsthand by myself and be able to relate to other people when I come back. Generally, I just like to relax and learn a few things casually on the side while on vacation to maximize money spent. This image shows a group of people having their group photo taken by the road on a sidewalk. They are mostly Asians, from what I can see in the picture, a few white people and one black person. Their photo is being taken by what seems to be a woman standing on a high slab directly opposite them in a very brightly lit weather, very clear and favorable weather. Right behind them is a sign for probably a company or an office, and behind that sign is a vehicle, most likely an SUV, parked by the roadside. They all seem to be willing and happy taking the photo, and they're all corporately dressed, ready for the picture. The weather seems very favorable for an image, and right next to where they're standing, there's a tree with a sign on it, a yellow and white sign on it. And if you ask me, the picture is probably going to come out well because everything is favorable. That was horrible. That was really horrible. When do you prefer to study and why? Where do you go when you study? Do you prefer to study alone or with others, and why? My study habits when I'm in school ranges from studying alone to studying with other people, depending on the scenario. Usually, when I haven't got any knowledge about a particular thing, I prefer to study alone first to be able to grasp what it is about and know a little about the topic before I go ahead to study with other people. And when I study alone, I usually like to study at night. I function better at night. There's less distraction. I have lesser other things to do, so I know that I would put all of my attention into what I'm studying. That's why I study at night. Usually, I like to leave the comfort of my home when I need to study to avoid giving into the temptation of laying on my bed and reading, which I know would eventually lead to me taking a nap and taking an unprecedented break from the study. Now, when I have already grasped what a topic is about, I can then study with other people, see and learn from their own perspectives of the topic, and have a wider range of knowledge on that particular topic. I find that it usually helps me largely. Oops, we're almost done. An important person in my community. Describe why they're important. 5 minutes to write. We're going to talk about the king, ancestral, generations, centuries. I know that's rubbish. This mirror is making me do weird things. I say this mirror, camera. What's an important life lesson you have learned in the last few years? Explain why it was such an important lesson. Alright. An important lesson I have learned can be divided into two parts, but is one majorly. Basically, working hard and taking advantage of time while you can. I had always heard growing up, time waits for no man, but I understand it better now because a lot of times when I said, oh, I needed to take a break, oh, I was hurting from something, hence I needed to get on with my mental, take time off to cool down and make sure I was in a better mental state. Every time that happened and I said, okay, now is the time to act, it becomes whatever I was acting on becomes more difficult. The world doesn't wait for you. You're responsible to pick yourself back up as soon as you fall. It's not a crime falling or failing, but you're responsible to pick yourself back up once you fall and get on with the moving train. Don't waste time. You'd realize every 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, 3 weeks of break you take intermittently over the years sums up to a large chunk of time that you would have used to do something better. So basically, it was really an important lesson for me, or it is still an important lesson for me because I have missed out on opportunities. And sometimes it has not been bad, it has not been as bad as missing out on opportunities. It has just been merely facing more difficult circumstances than I should have if I had picked myself back up earlier than I actually did. But it has had grave consequences, as bad as totally missing out on opportunities, having my heart broken, having to take like 10 steps backward and start from the scratch. But since I've learned that lesson, starting from the scratch, I know to do better and pick myself back up regardless of how I feel. Time just keeps running and it doesn't wait for anybody. Anyway, that's the important life lesson I have learned. And even if sometimes in the heat of things it's still difficult taking charge of things, I usually put it at the back of my mind, and I am determined and dogged at what I do to ensure that I don't have repetitions of those occurrences of missing out on opportunities. I don't like this score. I feel I did good to a large extent, but I don't like this score. Anyway, that's that about that. Toodles.